Hey guys, how's it going? It's
Hi,
Breanna.
Hey, it's Effie.
So we decided also to do a live video tonight because we've been having a lot of inquiries about some of the things that you might expect in at the retreat in St. Lucia. So we figured we would do a live feed and just go over some of those frequently asked questions. And we also wanted to go over setting an intention for this retreat. So we know that we have kind of been manifesting and setting intentions to be able to hold space for healing and growth to happen, as well as having fun. And we want it for everybody's highest good. So not just for the both of us, but also for the participants that are planning on coming. So basically, we're going to do the intention setting now and just basically different words and phrases that you can use and maybe not use as well. So our words are very powerful, and we can also kind of block ourselves through the words that we use. So we're going to do some intention setting. We're going to discuss some of the frequently asked questions, go over a few things. And then Effie's also going to go over some of the yoga that you can expect in terms of that if you decide to join in on the yoga that's optional at the retreat, what that will look like or what some of those classes will look like. So before we start that, let's go into how do you really manifest or how do you set intentions for something that you really want. So when I kind of manifest, I really visualize as if something's already happening. So I visualize us being in St. Lucia. I visualize the kind of room, and how do I feel? So I feel super excited. I feel really relaxed. I feel kind of in my zone of being a facilitator and being able to hold space and guiding people. So I really focus in on the feeling that comes with what it's going to be like in St. Lucia, right? And so I know that there's going to be a lot of high energy happening, and I know that there's going to be a lot of healing that's happening, and that makes me so excited because really that's what we're here to do. That's kind of our soul's purpose, is to guide people in their healing journey. And so I really also be aware of the words that I'm speaking. So when I'm manifesting for people to come to St. Lucia, I just realize that there's an abundance of people coming in. The emails are coming in and it's all flowing together, and it's for everybody's highest good that the people who are coming is exactly who needs to be coming, and sharing the space with them. And so I continue to say exactly what I want. So I want a flow of participants coming in. I want the space to be very healing and sacred. I want to allow spirit to guide me. I want to, so there's so many things, there's so many ways that you can really manifest, but really what it comes down to is how do you want to feel, or how is it going to feel leaving after a week in St. Lucia and really connecting to yourself, right? And so starting to remove or alleviate some of the ego's way of analyzing things and, you know, going back and forth nonstop, as opposed to just knowing that something is so clear for your path. So I think that in terms of the intentions that I set when I facilitate retreats is very much so holding space for people, right? And being able to allow them to explore in a safe environment, a non-judgmental environment, and just feeling so rejuvenated and so fresh and so upbeat and super excited. Like I cannot contain myself sometimes when I actually think about it, and I'm just vibrating so high. So I think that that might be something that you can start to do, even in terms of finances, right? If you're aware of the first thought that comes up and it's that's too expensive, or I can't afford that, or that's a dream come true, or I wish, then those are kind of sometimes blocking us. Those thoughts are blocking you from actually manifesting or having that flow of abundance of money coming in. So it doesn't necessarily mean that because you're in one job and that's your only source of income, you can allow, if you open yourself up, for abundance or finances to come in any way, shape, or form. So it's really important to become aware of your thoughts, which is what mindfulness does. So that's
we're shining a flashlight to thoughts that are limiting you. So really, in this manifesting process, we're visualizing what we want and how we feel, and think about all your five senses, engaging your five senses in this visualization, and also prior to being aware of any limitations. As Breanna was saying, that perhaps one of the limitations is finances, and then just allowing that to be and letting it go and letting that limitation go, and going into whatever visualization that you want to manifest for yourself, with an open heart and an open space, and also with asking your higher self, is this in my highest good? Am I wanting to manifest this from a place of love or a place of fear? And going from that heart place and that place of love, of what is actually in my best interest to do, to pursue, is where things are actually going to manifest from. And that's where we want to manifest it, instead of from a place of fear. So we're gonna actually do a meditation, manifesting meditation. As Breanna said, we really want this to be a safe and comfortable and compassionate space for this retreat, and manifesting the people who really need to be there, and it is in their highest good to be there. And this is a meditation to manifest that, but also manifest and eliminate or try to draw back and take away any of those fears that are barriers or limitations from really being able to see yourself in a beautiful retreat anywhere, with us in St. Lucia, of course, or anything in your life that you want to manifest.
So I think we'll end in the manifesting guided visualization. I think it would be helpful once you have the questions and stuff, or do you prefer, you want to do it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm gonna get grounded then. Okay, so if you want, and you're watching, or once you tune in online, so just get a little bit grounded. So I always encourage people to have their feet connected to the earth. And if not, just encourage you to be in a very comfortable seated position or laying down. And so I'll just allow you to take a few moments to get into the position that is comfortable for you. And once you're there, I want you to take a few deep breaths. So as you inhale, you expand. You fill the body up with oxygen, and as you exhale, you're releasing any stress or tension that you're holding on to. With every exhale, you're feeling a greater sense of relaxation, a sense of peace, and a sense of calm. Allowing the thoughts to flow through. They're in the back of the mind. Not holding on to any thoughts. We're just observing that they're there. Continuing to watch the natural Ujjayi breath. Really becoming one with the breath. I want you to visualize yourself in a field with bright yellow grass, tall, silky, smooth. Feeling the wind on your skin. Continuing to feel a sense of relaxation. Along with the wind, a scroll starts to come down, landing into your hands. As you start to open up the scroll, you see the word abundance. And as the word abundance comes to you, what are some of the feelings or sensations that you notice that come with seeing the word abundance? Maybe a sense of excitement, maybe a sense of serenity and tranquility. Whatever emotion or sensation flows through you by seeing the word abundance, allow that to flow through you. Allow every cell and tissue to feel the word abundance. Knowing you are safe to feel this. Knowing that you are deserving to feel this. And as abundance is flowing through your life and through your present moment, releasing all fear or blockages from allowing abundance to flow through. And if it's for your highest good, visualizing a temple or sacred space as you start to walk down the path from the field, noticing your surroundings, noticing how you feel in your body. Starting to walk towards the temple. As you walk into this bright, wide open space just for you, as you take a seat in this sacred temple or space, start to sit in a space of gratitude and appreciation. Appreciation for how much you have, how much you're receiving. And opening your heart up to the flow of manifesting the abundance that you wish for. Thanking your higher self for guiding you. Showing you the way. And once you feel the flow of energy, of what it feels like to be in a state of appreciation for the abundance flowing through and accepting it. Gently standing up, being aware of this wide open space that you're in. Just taking a glance around in awe of what you're surrounded by, the beauty of it all. And starting to make your way back down the path into the wide open field. Knowing that you can create your reality, bring into your experience whatever it is that you are wanting by bringing some focus into those wants and desires. I'm going to count to 5 where you'll be fully back into your here and now, back into your body. Eyes open at the count of 5. And 1, starting to wake up. 2, wiggling your fingers and your toes. 3, taking deep breaths, bringing awareness back. 4, ready to open your eyes. And 5, wide awake into the here and now. Oh, amazing.
I'd like to share. So, thank you very much, Breanna.
Yeah.
And I've loved really feeling and embodying abundance, because for manifestation, that's the main thing. You want to embody. What does it feel like? What does abundance mean to you? And then that spaciousness of that temple, and the gratefulness, and it's escaping me. What was the other thing you said?
Gratitude.
Gratitude and
I don't know. I never know when I speak through spirit.
Yeah. So if you remember, put it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you remember.
Gratitude, was it acceptance?
Yeah, accepting. Yeah, accepting.
Okay, so I mean, gratitude. Well, acceptance really transforms any limiting belief or any discomfort that you experience. Acceptance is what transforms it, and gratitude is such a big heart emotion that it fills you up, and you know that you're living and manifesting from your heart, from gratitude. And while as I stepped into there, before you said sit down, I was like, on this beautiful marble floor, and then I had an intuition of us in St. Lucia.
Yay.
And I know you're like, ooh, do we say specific numbers? Some people say you want to be specific. Some people say it's whatever comes. But anyways, there's 8 of us, so 8 plus us.
Yeah, I've had that too.
And 8.
I've had that too. Yeah.
And so we're in I saw a wooden floor, and we're enclosed, and we're sitting. And although retreats can be exhausting, they're also very nurturing and rejuvenating. So I saw us really being rejuvenated, and I felt a deep sense and level of connection of us in this circle, sitting. I saw me in purple, but
of course,
I wear purple often. So.
Yeah, amazing.
So I wanted to share. Cool. Share that's what kind of came through for me on that temple floor.
Cool, amazing. So we will talk a little bit about frequently asked questions. And please share your experience with that manifesting and meditation. I would love to hear. We'd love to hear what kind of came through for you. And it's different every time, and there's no right or wrong way in terms of whatever comes through is exactly what you're needed to see and hear and visualize. I know it's different for me every time, and even though I do a lot of guided meditations, I still, once I'm past that relaxation stage, I go into 5D world and I don't hear the rest of the guidance. I just see and hear. So please share. Amazing. So some of the frequently asked questions, we've had, so the price is $16.65 US as of right now, and that is all inclusive except for your flight. So usually booking about 4 months out, I've been there a couple times now, so I found that about 4 months out it usually ends up being the cheapest, and it's about $450 round trip. So it's definitely affordable and within range, and the flight's about 5 hours, so it's super awesome.
Mm-hmm. So that's the shared accommodation, which we, like, don't worry if you don't have a friend to come, we pair you with somebody for the shared accommodation. And that's also early bird, which ends February 1st. So by February 1st, you want to lock in that price, then do so. On February 2nd, however, it goes up to $1849 US. And then, of course, the single for early bird, what was the single?
It's like $2,100 US.
Okay,
yeah.
And then $23.99 is the after, like, February 2nd on. So please contact us soon. That's it's like a 10% discount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's well worth it because a lot of the mindfulness courses or programs that you would take here in Ontario, Canada, would be about $1,000. So for $600-700 more, you're getting an island experience with it. And I say island experience not because you're just going to be in St. Lucia, but because Effie and I have scheduled a full day land and sea excursion on the 3rd day. So we are gonna, I mean, if you end up making it to yoga in the morning, we'll do the yoga, we'll have breakfast, and then we're out for the rest of the day. And you get the lesson on a private beach that we've booked, and you're gonna get a whole experience of the island. And so you're gonna see more than just the plantation of Balambush estate. So it's pretty awesome. That's not usually normal for a retreat.
Balambush is also right by the beach.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So you're like steps away from this beautiful beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's some of the questions that we've been getting asked about the price. If you do book with shared, you do not have to have someone already in mind to share with. That just means that you're sharing with someone, and know that it's going to be exactly who you need to be paired with for that week.
Yeah, I like that. I go to like full day meditations, and you can bring a partner if you don't, because if you want, because if they're partnered, like, you do the meditations with a partner and there's specific movements and stuff and looking into their eyes and things like that. And so I go there and I go, you know what, whoever's going to be partnered with me is going to be the perfect partner for me, and then lo and behold, it's always someone that we end up loving each other's souls.
Yeah. No.
So yeah, it's a beautiful experience. I wanted to ask you to share about the energy of the island, because there's a
there's a volcano,
and things, and
so
there's a special. I've never been, but Breanna's been. Yeah. She's in love. I mean, there's Breanna tells me of this massive, wonderful energy of St. Lucia.
Yeah. So that's actually when I had my Kundalini awakening. So I was there and I had just an unreal Kundalini awakening, and I felt like that was my home because I was coming home to myself and my spirit. So I always leave vibrating super high. To the point where I like don't know what to do with myself when I get home, because I'm like I need to be back there. So there is the Pitom, which is a volcano. It's inactive, And they also, where we're going is on a plantation. So they do say that there's a ton of spirit there and energy there that is very conducive for healing and growth and spirituality. So just the people there and the culture there, it's just so amazing, like how people live and how people interact with each other, and just truly come from a loving place of here's my home and welcome home, right? So it's definitely an amazing vibing place, and so I keep being drawn back to it. I keep, through different things, I'm still going back there. So there's a reason, and I'm just waiting for the big reveal to happen for me. So in the interim, we're going on a retreat, and we're going to do it there. So some other questions that we've had are about the food. So it will be a completely plant-based meals that are locally, the food is from the locals. So it's gonna be all very fresh, all very clean, which is very typical for, I mean, a yoga retreat anyways, because we really want to detoxify everything. So even when we feel like, you know, we eat super clean or we eat really healthy, there's still toxins in the world, right? There's still metals, there's still things that we're constantly inhaling. So really, we're going to flush the whole system. We're going to flush the mind, we're going to flush the body, and we're going to start to bring spirit through and have a really amazing time. So that's a bit about the food, and it is all inclusive again. So you'll get 3 meals a day, and then there's snacks as well. On the excursion, we actually go to my friend's parents' place. So he's a local there, and they cook an amazing meal. It's been different every time, so I can't say you're going to for sure get this, but it will be plant-based as well. And there's no alcohol for the week, so that's something that, I mean, we have kind of decided. It's just, again, we want to really detoxify ourselves and start to having clear thoughts and having, you know, the ability to connect with our higher self. And so alcohol does not help with that, unfortunately. So
the room spins, but not in a natural way.
Yeah, exactly. So there will not be any alcohol. And some of the other questions, I guess, in terms of, do I need to be like a yoga and meditation expert? Yes, you do. No, you don't. You do not have to have any previous experience.
All beginner stuff.
It's all, I would say it's all levels, right?
Because, all levels.
Yeah, you're going to be engaging in a couple of different types of yoga, which Effie will talk about. And the meditations are going to be, through the mindfulness practice, you're going to start to learn really how to meditate, right? And so it's going to evolve, and it doesn't matter how long you've been practicing for. I mean, we both have been practicing for many years, and we still are learning, right? We're still growing from our practice. But I think the cool thing about Effie and I is that we actually practice what we're guiding. So it's not like you're going to get, you know, someone who tells you all the weights to use and all the gym equipment, and this personal trainer is guiding you, yet you clearly know that they don't work out themselves, right? So I think that that's just one example of
we
why
work on our brains.
We really work our brains, right? And work on our ascension process. And so how can we continue ascending? How can we continue being light and love? And how can we respond to certain things? And, you know, if we didn't, then what is the reason? So we really do practice every single day, every single moment, right? And so I think that that's something that is really unique for coming from practitioners, is because you don't always get practitioners who are really practicing what they are teaching.
And it is every single day, because that whole mindfulness perspective of suspending judgment, practicing patience, trusting that things are unfolding in their own time, and a divine trust, letting go of outcomes. This is not only, I mean, we don't just practice that when we're sitting there meditating, but in a movement, in washing the dishes, and when we get discomforting news that causes discomfort for our experience. This is all really helpful stuff to not like quick to judge something, which causes more discomforting emotions, and then being patient that things are going to unfold, not creating those worrisome thoughts. So it's not just the meditation, it's what happens when the approach or the perspective, this broader neutral perspective, leaks out into the rest of your life, and how really calm and peaceful that can bring.
Yeah. I think the other question too is a lot of people, so just along with the yoga and meditation practice, you don't necessarily have to be this super spiritual person either, right? Our whole kind of message that we're relaying to you, or tools that we're giving you, is mindfulness. And through mindfulness, a lot of things can unravel and unfold and be shown into the light, right? So there definitely is a spiritual component to it. It doesn't mean that you have to come in with any type of spiritual practice or anything. So again, that's wherever you're at is where you're at, and coming to the retreat. So, and
you also, to add, is that you make your own meaning out of it. Everybody is going to have a different word. I mean, having a different word for soul, the energy, or the essence, or whatever you call it that you're noticing in your experience, everybody is going to derive their own meaning and their own word and definition for it. And there's no, doctrine or anything to follow. You're following your own heart, and we endeavor you to find and really connect with your heart and with your authentic, true, loving self, just coming from love. And love is truly the universal word and meaning. Everything else, you take what you want and what feels right for you from the entire experience.
So I think that really covers a lot of the questions that we've been receiving. So basically the price, what it looks like as of February 1st, it's going up, the food, what to kind of expect. We went over the lessons in our last live video, so
check it
out.
If you missed it.
If you missed it, we might do another one just to briefly go over just the lessons itself. In terms of like how experienced you are with mindfulness practice, with yoga practice, with meditation practice, with being spiritual, whatever, and the shared accommodations. There was some questions around that. So I think that really covers what we've been receiving so far. So if you have more questions, totally cool. We will definitely respond to that. So I think we will move it to the types of yoga that you can kind of anticipate or expect, and go from there.
So yoga is all about mindful movement. That's what yoga is. It's all mindful, being aware of the present moment. So I mean, we included in a mindfulness course and mindfulness retreat, because that's what it is. What's really unique about this course is that you'll be introduced to different types of mindful movement and mindfulness in its still form, so like the sitting meditation, for instance, and different types of meditations. But for the movement part, you're being introduced to different types of mindful movement and different types of yoga. We haven't divvied up exactly who's going to do all the yoga, but I've been trained in a whole bunch of stuff, so I'm going to bring that to you. So in general, we're going to have mindful movement, or hatha yoga, which is the traditional hatha poses that you know and love, that's been marketed around, that you go into your average or your typical studio, and also being led by us in a very mindful, meditative type of way. We're also introducing you to yin. So hatha yoga works the muscle tissues, so muscles. Yin yoga works the connective tissues. So you're lengthening and strengthening and healing your joints, cartilage, tendon, bone, and fascia. Full, well-rounded practice. Restorative yoga is very super helpful for helping you strengthen your nervous system. all yogas help to strengthen your nervous system anyways. This restorative yoga is really helping you turn on that relaxation response, and when you relax is when your body can actually heal all its tissues and its emotions and thoughts and minds. So that is amazing. I've taught a lot of restorative yoga in my life. So and the next one, which I'm super excited about, is Kundalini yoga. Kundalini yoga is the yoga of awareness, and it's different from the other ones. Hatha is that more active, you're using your muscles. Yin and restorative, you're actually softening and relaxing your muscles, and it's long holds on the floor. Kundalini yoga is the class is set up in 3 different parts. So the first part is a breath meditation. So for an example, I would do like a meditation for a calm heart, for instance. And you're sitting up and you're giving love. Your left hand is your receiving hand, so you're receiving love on your heart. And you can barely see me here. And then you're giving love with the right hand. That's your giving hand, and you're doing a specific meditation, a breathing meditation that helps specifically to increase lung capacity, help with respiratory lung stuff, anxiety, depression, all sorts of things. I can't remember everything, but each breathing meditation is a specific meditation for specific things. And then after that, there's a kriya, which is a set of exercises, and so they're usually dynamic and fast. So like this, that's camel ride. I love that word, camel ride. So it's a series of kind of fast movements like that, and you always go at your own pace and what is comfortable for you. And then in the end, you do another meditation, which is specific for something. So sometimes you do meditation for strengthening your aura, which strengthens your magnetic field so that bad vibrations and toxins and viruses and bugs and stuff like that have a hard time trying to impact your being. If your electromagnetic field is so strong and robust, then things are not going to go through to make you sick, for instance. That's, in a nutshell, Kundalini yoga, the yoga of awareness and movement. And you get to experience all those 4 types of mindful movement, which is pretty amazing.
Really unique, yeah.
Yeah, and unique to have that experience. It's not just one, it's all. Yeah. And of course, you can participate in whatever level you want to. There's always something for you. Or if you want to, you choose what you want to participate in. Mm-hmm. Nothing's mandatory. Mm-hmm. It's also your retreat.
Mm-hmm. And I also wanted to touch base on something that I now forget what it is.
So I went through all the hatha and the mindful movement and the walking, maybe? Mindful movement, we're going to do walking.
Yeah, so we're going to add different activities for sure. So mindful eating, mindful walking, really how to embrace the present moment, because I find that a lot of people are so scared to actually live their life, where we want you to leave feeling so awesome that you want to live your life, right? Mm-hmm. You're having a new sense of igniting the fire and freedom, right? And that's finding peace within, and that's what will come through, I think, for everybody. So I think that's kind of what we wanted to go over in terms of for tonight, was the frequently asked questions, setting intentions, abundance flowing, and kind of going from there. And if, like Effie said, nothing is set in stone that you have to do all of the things that we've definitely given a lot of free time in between courses and lessons and, yoga and whatever. And if something comes up and we want to do it, we can do it. The week is ours, right? So there's nothing that is going to stop us from, this is what I wanted to say. It came through. We talked about it, Effie and I, and we we also are open to doing individual healing sessions. So whatever that looks like, I'm bringing my essential oils, of course. So that will be a part of it. I was also thinking of bringing, doing some myofascial release. So bringing my myofascial system, as well as tuning forks, so sound healing, which also might be a mindful listening exercise that we do. So that will be based off of if you come to us and say, hey, I kind of want an individual session, something came through for me, whatever, right? I want to explore it, and you can come.
If you want to explore with us.
So I think that's we're definitely open to that. It doesn't have that on the schedule in terms of like from this time to this time it's offered for individual. We can kind of just allow that to flow through, and we're open to it.
One of the things that I do is hypnosis. So if there's inquiry or interest, I could even do like group hypnosis, or we can go off on tangents to whatever you're needing.
So just know that we're super open to any suggestions, any changes, anything, right? We're free spirits, so we're kind of cool with whatever. We just wanted to have a schedule so you didn't think that we're like super disorganized and not know what we're doing.
No, we know we've done a mindfulness retreat before, and even so, we are so solid in our knowledge and our practice of mindfulness that it comes anyways, that it doesn't really need to be super structured because it's all in there. We're going to have a structure for you in terms of all the lessons and what the lessons, but there's also a lot of room for what you need. If we need to go more into one direction, then we'll do that.
Spirit always knows what to do and say. Okay, so amazing. We are gonna say good night, and we will probably do one more live video before February 1st, since that's the deadline for the early bird registration. The actual deadline to register is a few weeks out of the retreat itself, so there's definitely time to still register, but we really want you to reap the benefits of the early bird registration, because it's honestly something that you want to be at, right? So I could say you don't want to miss, but then all the universe hears is you want to miss it, right?
Because the unconscious mind and the universe don't actually hear don't. Anything don't, won't, not. That's not heard. So you want to pay by February 1st, as opposed to you don't want to miss February 1st. And please contact us with any questions at all. Anything you're thinking or contemplating about. We're happy to get back to you.
For sure. All right, so have an amazing night, sleep well, and dream of abundance in St. Lucia. Bye, guys.
Bye.